You can cry over a kitten on your phone, feel devastated by a fictional character, and still miss the fact that someone beside you has gone quiet. You may not even know what you are feeling yourself. You just know that something is wrong. Not angry, not sad, not anxious, just bad. That contradiction may explain something important about modern emotional life. We have access to more emotion than ever, but fewer chances to practice understanding it. Psychologists sometimes use the term emotional granularity. It means being able to distinguish between emotions that initially feel similar. Instead of "I feel terrible," you might notice disappointment, embarrassment, loneliness, resentment, or fear of rejection. Those labels are not magic. Naming an emotion does not automatically solve it, but a more precise description can give you better options. Disappointment may need a changed expectation. Loneliness may need connection. Shame may need perspective and self-compassion. Overload may need less input, not more motivation. When every uncomfortable state is simply bad, the mind has only blunt responses: escape, suppress, distract, or explode. And if it is difficult to recognize your own emotional signals, recognizing someone else's becomes even harder. Empathy is not one simple feeling. It can include noticing another person's state, imagining their perspective, sharing part of their emotion, and deciding how to respond. That takes mental work. In a real conversation, you track tone of voice, pauses, facial movement, posture, context, and the history between you. You constantly update your guess about what the other person may be experiencing. Online, much of that information disappears. A person becomes a sentence. A face becomes a short clip. A complicated life becomes one opinion you agree with or hate. Once someone is reduced to an opinion, attacking them can feel strangely easy. The mind is no longer representing a full person with relationships, memories, vulnerabilities, and a life outside the screen. This does not mean online cruelty is caused by one app, or that people who behave badly online have no empathy in real life. Anonymity, group norms, anger, status, and platform design can all matter. But digital environments can make dehumanization easier by removing the details that normally remind us. This is a real person. There is another problem. Algorithms often surround you with people who look, speak, and react like you. After enough repetition, familiarity begins to feel like normality. People like us are normal. People unlike us are irrational, suspicious, or broken. This is not necessarily because your capacity for empathy disappeared. Your model of humanity may have become too narrow. Empathy partly depends on having enough examples of human difference. You need contact with people whose fears, priorities, families, bodies, cultures, and constraints are not copies of your own. Without those examples, another person's reaction may look ridiculous, simply because your mind has no useful model for it. Entertainment creates a different kind of emotional experience. A film, novel, game, or animal video can produce genuine tenderness, grief, fear, and joy. That emotion is not fake or inferior, but it is often low-responsibility empathy. You can feel deeply, then close the app. You do not have to repair the relationship, tolerate misunderstanding, change your plans, or stay present while another person remains upset. Real-life empathy is more demanding. It asks you to care when the story is slow, the person is inconvenient, and there is no soundtrack telling you what to feel. Unlimited entertainment may also raise the intensity threshold. When dramatic emotional stimulation is always available, ordinary expressions can feel too subtle. A quiet joke seems less funny. A small disappointment seems unimportant. A hesitant sentence from a friend is easy to miss. The risk is not that entertainment destroys empathy. The risk is that highly designed emotion can crowd out practice with quieter, messier, reciprocal emotion. Life experience can reopen that range. Becoming responsible for a child, caring for an aging parent, living with illness, entering a new culture, or forming a close relationship with someone very different can suddenly make previously distant experiences feel vivid. The world did not change. Your internal library of human experience expanded. That suggests empathy is not only a moral trait you either possess or lack, It is also a skill shaped by attention, language, exposure, and practice. You can practice emotional granularity by replacing bad with 3 more specific possibilities. You can ask, what changed just before this feeling appeared? You can listen for the emotion underneath someone's position instead of responding only to the position. And you can spend time with people who are not selected for you by an algorithm. Not to agree with everyone, not to absorb everyone's pain, but to remember that a human being is always larger than the fragment currently visible to you. The goal is not endless emotional sensitivity. Healthy empathy still needs boundaries. The goal is higher resolution, to see your own feelings with enough detail to respond wisely, and to see other people as more than content, categories, or opinions.